申し込み、申します。申します。申します。中級。中級。米国。米国。便利。荷物。荷物。入。What is that? 入荷。入荷。砂。紅茶。シーシャ。細い。細かい。角。苦手。雨戸。小バって。払う。払う。払う。宅配。宅配。預ける。預ける。緑。緑。広告。広告。ティッシュ。シール。広告。I don't know. 4 3 1 go 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 next 休みは旅行に行く。連休。値段。ネット。額。OK。毎しで毎タコ。なんでやばいね。Okay, next. Next. メールを送る。メールを送る。Good man, beautiful. Ray. Ray. なんでSurrey. Ray or Ray. That means thanks. レオマンジにしますのでよろしくお願いします。すみません。電車が遅れて10分くらい。はあ。はあ。Ray. Next is Ray. Ray. なんでRay. That is Ray. Like Ore. Ore. Thanks. Ore. Thanks. Ore. Then 返事ありがとうございます。キューザ。お礼まで。Next. Next is うがかう。Visit or asked humble form. visit, ask, humble. Visit, ask, humble. Next is chi. Next is chi. 遅い、遅れる。遅刻、遅い、遅い、遅れる。chi. This is for chi. 遅い。遅れる。遅い。遅れる。遅刻。Tardiness. 遅刻。Oh my god. Chikoku. Chikoku. Hello, good evening. お疲れ様です。Good morning. I am fine. How about you? Chikoku. Chikoku. That means tardiness. Tardiness. Chikoku. Tardiness. Chikoku. Next is osoi. Slow. Osoi. Slow. Osoi. Osoi. That means slow. Osoi. Osoi. Slow. That's so funny. But you can still do exercise at your home, right? In your house, right? Osoi. Well, I think I can now read a little kanji. I can now recognize kanji if I'm going to read some documents. And I'm happy for my progress. Osoi. Not all, but little by little, I can now recognize some. Slow. Okuriru. 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 That means be late. Are you also learning Japanese? Okuriru. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, yes. I do sometimes listen to Japanese music. Actually, I try to listen every morning before going to work. It really is helpful. Okuriru. Be late. Then, thank you so much anyway. I don't have favorite songs anyway. I just listen to those. I just search Japanese songs in YouTube and then I just play it all the way. I just do not know the title. I was so lazy to learn the title of the song that I listened to. Shitsu. Sorry. But maybe my favorite is the soundtrack of Naruto. The Naruto soundtrack. I like those songs. Shitsu. If you're familiar with Naruto, the anime, Shitsu. Shitsurei na. Anyway, are you Japanese or something? Where are you from? Yeah, I do like Naruto, but I just stopped watching those. Since I got here, I just stopped watching Naruto. How about you? Do you like Naruto or what do you like? Shitsurei. 失礼失礼 Oh, you're from Brazil. Hola? Is it hola in Brazil or hello? Just like Spanish, right? Hola. Brazil. 失礼な rudeness. But you, yeah. Oh, I see. Thank you so much. Hola, I was right. Hola, señorito. Buenos dias. Is Brazilian language the same with Spanish? Ore, no, rudeness. Ore, or shitsurei. Ah, Portuguese. Hola. Okay. Portuguese. Shitsurei. But do you speak Japanese? Rudeness. It seems like you have a lot of knowledge about Japan. Do you speak Japanese? Shitsurei no. Have you been here in Japan? Why do you know how to speak Japanese? Or how do you know speak Japanese? 失礼な then 失礼する be excuse 失礼失礼する失礼する be excused. Oh, 素晴らしい。アミノのために日本語を勉強。素晴らしいじゃない？失礼する。be excused. 素晴らしいね。Maybe the food and the view, different views, cleanliness, those. How about you? What do you like about Japan? Have you been here in Japan? 失礼する be excused. 失敗失敗失敗 That means failure mistake failure mistake 失敗成功 failure mistake 失敗 You're welcome anyway. The next is ase. That is se. sweat, perspiration. Ase. Oh. Eh. Sushi? Why so? I like sushi. Yeah, hot springs and ramen are the best actually. But I also love sushi. Why hate sushi? Shippai, failure, mistake, ase, chikoku, tardiness, slow, sway, okoreru, pinade. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? I haven't tried that. Mm. I haven't tried the banana sushi with banana. Oh. Really? I haven't tried that one. Uh, oh, well, I I think I eat everything here. Here. I do not, well, except for pork, I do not eat pork. Tonkatsu, I do not eat tonkatsu. But anything else, I eat everything. Like sushi, sashimi. But I haven't tried that banana with sushi. I'm not sure. I haven't tried banana sushi. Sushi with banana. That's so interesting. Ase. This is chikoku, tardiness, hosoi, okoreru, shitsurei, shitsurei suru, surei suru, shippai, ase. Maybe just tonkatsu or anything related to pork because I just don't eat pork. Ase, chikoku. Anything? Even natto. I eat natto. Do you eat natto? Have you tried eating natto? Is it? Really? A chocolate ramen? That's interesting. Chocolate ramen? Noodles with noodles in chocolates? Oh, that's interesting. Well, noodles came from flour. Also, pancake came from flour. Maybe. But chocolate, maybe. How does it taste? The chocolate ramen. Chocolamen. Chocolamen. That's so nice. That's so interesting. Interesting. Ase. Ase. This is ase. That means perspiration. Sweet. Sweat. Perspiration. Sweat. Well, the first time that I ate natto, I didn't like it. But the second time, I just It was actually good and it was healthy. And I love it. Actually, natto together with kimchi is actually perfect. Natto, kimchi, or nori together. Then ase o kaku. Kaku, perspire. Ase o kaku. Perspire. Sweat. Yes, it is Korean. Kimchi. I love kimchi. Kimchi and egg. Kimchi sauteed together with egg. It's actually delicious. Kimchi ramen. You must try. Ase perspiration, sweat. Ase. Ase o kaku. Perspire, sweat. Ase shitsu. Chi. Soy. Korean. I love Korean food also. Korean food, Thai food, and Japanese. Brazilian. I haven't tried any Brazilian food yet. Seokaku. Vietnamese food is also delicious, like pho. Pho. Yeah, that's true. They eat a lot of food and they never gain weight. Inspiration, Asiokaku, perspire. Nen. Nen. Zangnen na. Nen. Zangnen. What time is it now in Brazil anyway? Nen. Like zangnen. Oh. I must search. Okay, hold on. I'm going to search Brazilian food. There's no Brazilian restaurant here either. Brazilian food. Oh, maybe there is. Oh, maybe there is. Oh, like empanada. Okay. Looks delicious. Do you know this? It's kinda interesting. Like chocolates. Looks delicious. Bread and all. Cocina? Oh, no, not yet. I haven't tried any Brazilian food. Maybe next time I will look for a Brazilian restaurant near me. Brazil. I'm gonna search Brazilian food, Brazilian restaurant. There is maybe. But it's kinda expensive. Oh. J-Bowl. そうか。美味しそう。アサイ。There's no good karaoke. Oh. Oh, that sounds really interesting. Acai. Is acai a Brazilian food? Fruit? Oh, acai. That is why. Brazilian. Oh, this is churras. Is this a Brazilian food? This looks delicious. Maybe next time. We'll try. Oh, brigadeiro. I'll search. Is it easy to make? Is it easy to make? Oh my, so delicious. Looks so delicious. Okay. Maybe if I have time. Brigadeiro. Brigadeiro receipt. Well, I actually am from the Philippines, so everyone's favorite is adobo. You can search, please search adobo. It's from the Philippines. And we have the most famous soup there. It's kind of soury. Tastes like sour, a little sour. Soury soup. That we call sinigang. I am from the Philippines anyway. Nen. Zang nen. Adobo. But it seems it's been a while since I ate adobo. Zangnen. Zangnen da. It's an adjective. That means regret, disappointment. 残念。記念 commemoration 記念記念記念記念 commemoration記念 commemoration commemoration 記念汗汗をかく perspire or sweat. Then this one is 念残念 regret disappointment 記念Yeah. Maybe you can try making that one in Brazil. You just need some chicken, or sometimes you can add some pork if you want to. Chicken, some soy sauce, a little vinegar, garlic, onions, and then some pepper. If you want, sometimes you can add pineapple too. I love to add pineapple in an adobo. Pineapple. Because I love pineapple, so sometimes I add pineapple. Oh, thank you so much. Have a great day too. Have a great day and take care. Till next time. Zangnen, Kinen, commemoration. Next is Namita. Namita. Namida. 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 It is tears. Or tear or tears. Namida. Namida o nagasu. 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 What? Namida o nagasu. Namida o nagasu. Namida o nagasu. Next, namida o nagasu. Namida. Namida, namida. Namida o nagasu. I can do that. O nagasu. Namida o nagasu. That means weep. Namida o nagasu. Weep. Ase, ase o kaku. Nen, zangnen. That means regret, disappointment. Zangnen. Kinen, commemoration. Namida, namida o nagasu. Ase, ase o kaku. Nen, zangnen. Kinen, namida, namida o nagasu. Next kanji is warao. 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 M. Warao. 涙を流す。笑う。笑う。笑う。That means laugh. Smile.
Carlos climbed a 10-meter palm tree to demonstrate. He made his way up step by step, but when he turned around, the man was gone, along with his phone and his car keys, everything he owned. Hey! Oye! ¿Dónde vas? Carlos rushed down the tree, unhooked his harness, and chased after him, but he couldn't catch up. The man got away. Carlos stumbled and scrambled in pursuit, but could only watch helplessly as the man disappeared from sight. Years ago, Carlos and his wife had immigrated to the U.S. illegally, dreaming of a better life. But soon after, his wife left him, and it was just him and his son. With help from a fellow countryman who was his boss, Carlos worked trimming gardens for the wealthy. Every day, he followed his boss to different jobs, climbing trees to do dangerous work with no safety net. At sunset, Carlos watched the relaxed, carefree people by the roadside. How could he not envy that kind of life? As he was leaving, his boss told him not to come in tomorrow. He was selling the truck. He'd made enough money and was going back home to enjoy life. And that meant Carlos was out of a job. He took out all his savings, thinking about buying his boss's truck and becoming an independent contractor. That way, he'd have steadier income and a real shot at a better life. But all his savings together wouldn't even buy a tire. Carlos glanced at the phone, torn all night. Finally, he called his sister, who was also struggling in America, but she also had financial problems, and she had a stingy husband. He would never agree to lend the money, though he really did need that truck. He truly didn't want to cause his sister any unnecessary trouble. Carlos had to face reality. He went to the labor market and waited for work. A car pulled up, and the workers swarmed it, but Carlos, timid by nature, could only watch from behind. Night fell, and he returned home dejected, only to find his sister waiting outside. She pulled out $12,000 from her bag, money she'd been saving for emergencies over the years. Knowing how hard his sister had it, Carlos refused. He was afraid of dragging her down, and also afraid that his identity would be exposed and cause his business venture to fail. But his sister insisted he take it.
Compra la troca. Y si las cosas van bien, como tú dices, pues todo va a cambiar. Para eso nos cruzamos, ¿no?
Carlos bought the beat-up old truck, his ticket to a better life. He was overjoyed, feeling closer to the good life than ever before. First, he added new decorations and gave the truck a good wash. Then he bought his son the team jersey he'd always wanted. But when he picked his son up from school, he found the boy not only had a girlfriend, but had also lost interest in the jersey.
It's not Blasco's truck anymore. It's ours. The field, huh? Only good for us. Sure. Good for us.
However, on his very first day of work, the truck was stolen. Carlos chased it all the way into town, but when he saw police by the roadside, he didn't dare report it. If they found out his status, the consequences would be worse than losing the truck. He could only turn and walk away. That night, Carlos, who never drank, got utterly drunk.
Well, what happened?
Look at, find him. Find him. If I don't get it back, I'm just...
Luis had never seen his father so defeated. For the first time, he felt a pang of heartache. He covered his father with a blanket and could only sit helplessly nearby. The next morning, Luis woke up unusually early. He not only made breakfast, but also offered to go look for the truck with his father. Carlos said it was his own problem and told his son to go to school, but Luis said it was their problem. And besides, it was the weekend. Carlos was so anxious that he forgot, so he agreed to let his son come along. The father and son went to the labor market. Carlos found someone who knew the thief. The man agreed to take them to the thief's place, but he wanted them to pay him $50 for it. And so, they arrived at a neighborhood, but didn't know exactly which room the thief lived in. Luis called his father's phone, and the ringtone echoed from upstairs. But when they got to the room, they were told the thief had moved out overnight and had sold the phone for $40 to his roommate. Thankfully, the roommate didn't give them trouble and returned the phone to Carlos. Carlos tried to pay him back, but the man refused. According to him, the thief worked somewhere. Luis noticed a photo on the wall. Maybe that was where the thief worked. As they left, the guide expected the $50 he'd been promised. Luis argued they hadn't found the man, so they didn't need to pay. But Carlos told Luis, even in poverty, you must still keep your word. They found the place from the photo, but it was closed during the day, so they had to wait. Carlos suddenly noticed a horse show nearby, and remembered his son had loved watching them as a child. But once they got inside, Luis seemed completely uninterested. During a meal, an old song played. The tune brought back memories for Carlos. He asked Luis if he remembered the song. His mother used to sing it to him when he was little.
I don't want to talk about it.
Carlos hadn't expected such a simple remark to make his son so defensive, and what surprised him even more was Luis's next question.
I need help. All these fucking bad kids.
Carlos didn't know how to answer. After a long pause, all he could say was,
Say that. Say that.
at night, the restaurant opened, and the parking lot filled with cars, but they still couldn't find the stolen truck. With no other option, Carlos decided to confront the thief. Following a worker's directions, he went to the kitchen and found the man washing dishes. Their eyes met. The thief reacted quickly, grabbed a basket of cups and threw them at Carlos, then bolted. But Luis had been waiting outside for a long time. He tackled the man, pinned him down, and gave him a good beating. Luis searched the man's pockets and found only a money order. Their truck had already been sold, and the money had been sent to his family. Enraged, Luis kicked the man. Carlos immediately stepped in to stop him.
You want to be nice to this bitch? Huh? What about all that shit instead of a movie no better neighborhood, huh? What the hell are we gonna do now?
Carlos hurriedly held back his impulsive son. To calm him down, he even struck him. Luis couldn't understand why his father was defending an outsider. He shoved Carlos away and stormed off. Young Luis didn't yet know that his father was doing this to protect his future. The next day, Carlos went to Luis's friend's house to find him. He apologized for his behavior the night before and asked his son to come with him to the black market to recover the truck. Luis refused. Carlos had expected that. He had nothing more to say and turned to leave. After the previous night's events, Luis had been ready to give up and join a gang, but his friend told him he was being heartless. If his father were still around, he wouldn't treat him like that, nor would he join a gang for protection. He had only one path, but Luis was different. He at least still had a father. Carlos was waiting alone for the bus when Luis walked up to him. In the end, he chose his father's side. Under cover of night, father and son went to the black market. Carlos was going to risk stealing the truck back. He told Luis to keep watch outside. If a guard showed up, he should call out loudly. Watching his father's determined back, Luis could only follow orders. Carlos climbed over the fence to look for the truck, but Luis spotted it first from outside and tried to climb over himself, only to get caught on the fence. Carlos rushed to free him. Later, they found the stolen truck, but then a guard dog discovered them. Father and son scrambled back into the truck. The guard noticed something wrong and blocked the exit. So Carlos started the engine and floored it, crashing straight through the fence. Luis was thrilled with their success. Carlos said sincerely,
Thanks for coming with me, huh? Sure, man.
it was the closest father and son had been in years, but Carlos suddenly stopped. He saw a police car parked by the roadside. Luis urged him to keep driving, but Carlos crept forward slowly. The suspicious move caught the officer's attention. Luis kept telling him to go, but Carlos slowly pulled over, turned off the engine. Luis begged him to drive away, but Carlos didn't move, though it felt great to get the truck back. What they'd done was illegal. He can't run from what he owed. As a father, he had to set an example, and so Carlos was taken to prison to be deported as an undocumented immigrant. Now he faced a choice: stay for 6 months to fight a hopeless asylum case, or give up the fight and be deported immediately. His free lawyer hinted meaningfully even sneaking back in would be faster and cheaper, but he'd still face legal consequences. The implication was clear: give up and go home. Before he left, his sister and son came to the prison to see Carlos one last time, and he finally gave his son a proper answer to the question he'd asked that day. He had Luis because of the love between him and his wife. That love had made him feel the sweetness of life. But people change. Everything here was different from home. Carlos couldn't give his wife what she wanted, so she left. From that day on, Carlos Carlos had raised his son alone. He had no steady job and didn't know what to do next, but raising his son was his responsibility. He wanted to watch Luis grow up, to give him a better life, to help him become a better person. There was no reason for having Luis, but Luis's very existence was what made his life worth living.
I'm sorry, my friend. You never failed me. You were there. You're always there. You're always there.
4 months later, Luis, wearing that jersey, had become the person he truly wanted to be, and Carlos was crossing the desert to begin his journey back to America. Everything Carlos had done was to teach his son to respect the law and become a man of integrity. Never harm others, but always be wary of them. Sometimes the people who hurt you most are the ones you trust the most. We spend our whole lives chasing a better life. Maybe the road is full of thorns, but only by holding on to that striving spirit can we ever escape the mud we're stuck in. Even if life doesn't turn out exactly as we wanted, we can still end up with something better than before. Just because someone shared half of the only bread with him when he was starving, he thought he'd met a good person. So when Carlos went from laborer to employer, he chose the very man who had given him bread back then. Carlos taught him how to use tools, trained him with all his heart, and even offering free lunch. But his kindness wasn't repaid with kindness. To show the man how to trim tree branches, Carlos climbed a 10-meter palm tree to demonstrate. He made his way up step by step, but when he turned around, the man was gone, along with his phone and his car keys, everything he owned. Carlos rushed down the tree, unhooked his harness, and chased after him, but he couldn't catch up. The man got away. Carlos stumbled and scrambled in pursuit, but could only watch helplessly as the man disappeared from sight.
He's crying. He's crying because he lost the scatter. He's crying. Ew. Stop crying, Shiku.
してlet's continue 笑う笑う笑う笑う笑う笑い笑いlaughter 笑い laughter 笑う笑いいいね質違うで笑顔笑顔笑顔smile smiling face 笑顔笑顔笑顔 smile smiling face 間に合う間に合う間に合わないありがとう行かないことどこ行かないことかく汗をかく卒業式に記念お礼を先に失礼します先に失礼します 5A 笑顔寝顔笑顔背顔いかが残念怒れる遅刻遅れる遅れる遅れる電池俺遅これる笑う遅い遅い遅い遅いね涙涙遅刻遅刻 next okay now I need to go to sleep good night